This time on Woody's Garage. You don't know anything about brakes. Ha, 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 who?
Well, here's my 2003 Toyota Tacoma. I've owned it since it's been new. Yesterday I went down to the scrap yard and getting up on the scales, I blew a brake line. No brakes. Yeah, and I drove it home too. It's been really a hard time finding a brake line. The readily available pre-made lines don't seem to exist. You kind of got to make your own. So for the last day I've been kind of researching and stuff like that, riding my bicycle back and forth to the parts store. And this is what I came up with. This line here is copper. I think it's copper nickel actually. Night cop, I think you call it. No problem with the size, it's 3/16. The fittings are right. They're but the thing that was off was the tip. The tip needs to look like that. You can see that. Let's see if I can find the old one. And I had to go to 2 different stores on my bicycle to get 2 of them. And that's the best we could do for a solution. Now the line I'm replacing is 22.5 inches. This is a 30-incher, so I'm going to have to put a curly Q at pigtail in the line to make it work. But this stuff, as you can see, is really easy to bend. I did that just taking it out of my backpack. Here are kind of the stats. 3/16 line, 22.5 inches long, 10 millimeter by 1. That's what the fitting is. That's the part number, which was wrong. Don't go by that one because it had a different thread on it. It had a different flange. These flanges, I think, are called double flange. But if you see, it kind of goes in. Some of the other ones like bubble out. I think they actually call bubble. And this also has, if you notice, like a little bit of length right there at the end of the threads, and these did not have that, but these adapters do. Did I want to use adapters? No. Do I know what I'm doing? Well, I've researched. I think I can handle it. I got the old brake line loose. I got this off. It broke right there, right at the end. That's where it spewed its load all over the place. So I just turned it off and kicked this out so I could look at the flange. I'll insert the clip here on what I saw when I took this all apart. If you look at it, you'll see that kind of looks like it's coming out from inside of the hub. Inside of here, like it's just magically coming out of the back here. But after I looked at it in iMovie, I realized that it was the brake line itself. So if I haven't mentioned it before, I'm certainly no expert at doing this. You see, this is the line. Right here. It goes to that junction box there. And it comes out, comes down here, runs behind the shock, runs up, and runs up there. I think that gizmo's for the ABS stuff or something. I took the tire off so that you can kind of see better, so that I can see better. And that's the line right there that just, yeah, nastily rotted. Weird, it kind of has a coating here, but it kind of stops when it gets to the flange. Okay, thing is I got to get it all ready. I got to kind of bend it. The one I got is 7 inches longer than what I need. So I'm gonna have to put a pigtail in it, you know, curly Q, and those adapters. Now of course I don't want fluid leaking out of there as much as I can help it. I already lost a ton. Press on the pedal. I drove the thing home on the emergency brake. It was pretty scary, but I got home. Also bought myself one of these wrenches finally. It's called a line wrench. I'm sure there's other names. It goes around, you know, more times so you don't strip these fittings off, which are notorious for being awful to get off. I think I also noted that the two ends are different. This end is longer than this end, so I got to make a decision on which end's going to go where. Although they're going into an adapter, so that's kind of weird too. I guess it doesn't really make any difference. Adapter's on. That one doesn't look too bad. This one I don't feel very comfortable about, but I guess we got to go with it. Okay, another thing I just found out is you try to turn this and you really can't. So it's like you got to put this in first and then the line, because the line won't spin, if you know what I mean. The whole thing is like one piece. Okay, hard to see the camera in here. I think it's right. So we got the adapter in there. It felt pretty good going in. It feels like it's going to be right. Now we got to try to bend the line so that it's like this, and I guess that's the beauty of these copper lines, is that they bend so easy and they can be rebent, which I guess is steel. Once you bend them once and like, hey, that's it. So I think it's a whole lot better if I take that line out of there to copy it. It's just when I take that end out there, it might leak. I'm going to put the adapter in. I just got some foam rubber in there. It's got to go in first anyway. It's not really wedged in there. It'll pop right out. Hopefully that'll keep it from leaking. Well, there's my initial bend. The curly Q pigtail there, I just wrapped it around this dowel here. I think that'll be good. There's also this clamp that sat right here. Had some kind of goop on the inside. I don't know, to go around the, am I seeing this? Very hard to see outside here today. I'm looking at my shoes. Here's a clamp. I made a little piece of hose. I'm going to put over it like this. Put the split pointing down, so if any moisture gets in there, it goes down. We'll just keep an eye on it to see if it starts corroding around it or something. Like that, in case you didn't know what I meant. It's just a mounting point. Yeah, that is the mounting point right there. And I tried to drill it out because it's totally frozen. I guess I got to drill out it a little more because it's not going all the way through. I got a little off center because that thing should have popped off, and it's not really held on very well, so I don't want to give it a whack or whatever with a hammer and mess it all up. So more drilling. Alright, that doesn't look too bad. Need to tighten up the junction there. That one's totally tight, but I don't like how much it sticks out, but that's adapters for you. And we gotta tighten up that one up there. Yeah, all was going good until we couldn't move the bleeder screw, which is right there. I heated it just a little bit. The line wrench there won't grab hold of it. I tried a regular 10mm that seemed like it was a tighter tolerance, and it didn't do it. And once you put vice grips on it and start tapping it, you're really messing with it. God, it was going so good too. When I push the pedal, the brake pedal, it is squishy, but it's there, and I also don't see any leaks here. But it's probably because it's just pushing air. So yeah, I just kind of tried the vice grips on it. It's like, to the point, you're gonna break it off. I guess you gotta break it off, which would mean we need to put in a new brake cylinder in the hub. I had the hub off yesterday. Everything looks good in there. The brake pads are good. At 180,000 miles, there's still pad life in here. I mean, that's nuts. But yeah, I hate to break that thing off. It's funny, 2 days ago also the muffler went, so, or developed a hole. So of course this is more important than that, but I picked up just a patch for now. instead of getting a whole muffler because it's involved. There's a muffler. I think a hole was up on top here. Yeah, right about where my finger is. Yeah, it's shot. It's stupid to even waste money on a patch, but yeah, the tailpipe looks like it's on the way out too. Rust bucket. There's a brake cylinder right there. Held in by I think 4, no, just 2. 2 screws behind it that are also probably frozen. I haven't broken the bleeder off yet, but of course we're looking forward to having to replace this, which I don't want to do. I don't have brake tools and stuff. I also almost feel like if I could get it off with the bleeder as it is, you know, you could put it on the bench and probably get that bleeder out and put a new one in, but then, you know, you're probably saying, why not just put in a new brake cylinder? I don't know. I mean, look at how thick those pads are, 180,000 miles. No, they've never been replaced. Twice when I've had the discs done, the calipers up front, disc brakes, I've said, hey, just replace the back. And they said, oh, no, they're fine. I'm just like, oh, why didn't they just do it? But, you know, they do. They look fine. So I had myself a little cry. And then I came back, put the vice grips on it again, and I got it to move. Friggin' amazing. It heard me cry and felt sorry for me, I guess. So now I can bleed it, I think. There's a way to self-bleed. Hopefully you can see that that's in focus. That you put a tube over the end here, and it goes down into like a cup that you fill about halfway with brake fluid, so that it'll lose air, but it won't, I mean, it'll blow air out, but it won't suck air back in because it'll suck brake fluid back in. And I guess I'm going to try to do that. So I got to find a hose that fits this. And also, well, maybe I can get a 10 millimeter on it now that it's loose, hopefully. Okay, we got a hose on there. I think that's a good fit. I think our line wrench will work still now that it's loosened up. The hose goes down into that cup down there that I'm going to fill about halfway up with brake fluid. And then, is there a piece of junk in the bottom down there? Yeah, of course. We'll have to clean that out better, and we'll go from there. Okay, we got some brake fluid in there. It's .3 in this case. Some kind of spec V something or other, 1703 or something like that. Now here's my master cylinder. I mean, look, it's not even down much. I have not added anything to it. Got my brake fluid ready. We'll read about what's next. Yeah, here are my instructions, just in case you want to read them for yourself. Where we are is number 4, which is use a flare nut wrench to crack the bleeder valve open about 1/4 of a turn. Then we're going to slowly pump the brake pedal to the floor several times. While doing this, fluid level in the master cylinder reservoir, keep it at least half full. And we got quite a bit right now. The fluid quality in the hose attached to the bleeder, you want no air or dirt. Okay. Slowly, several times. I don't really know how many several is. That's like 4. That's like 5. So we went down like a little bit, so I'm gonna add a little bit. A little bit of air bubbles down there. Let's put the camera down here and we'll watch kind of what happens. Or you'll get to see what happens. I'll be pumping in the truck. You know what I mean. Well, I gotta confess, I didn't have the hub on when I did that, which probably isn't a smart idea, so let's put the hub on. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like what it could do is push, even though the brake cylinder is, the bleeder's open, it could still put pressure on the brake cylinder, which would push the brakes out, which I thought I heard the noise of it doing, which wouldn't work, make this procedure work quite right. So we're gonna try it again, and I don't know, let's see what happens. Folks, we got a pedal. Not bad. Not bad at all. You know, I think that's the only one I'm going to bleed too. Wow, terrific. So here I am. Here I am watching the video in iMovie. And it looks like I got to the point that there were no more air bubbles there. Turning off the sound on that. You can hear me pumping the brakes like slightly, so you know kind of what's going on. I pumped about 4 or 5 times, and I did see bubbles like the first couple of times, but then the last few I saw no bubbles at all. I almost feel like since the setup is still set up, maybe I should go one more round. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. And hopefully we got it. The only thing I was thinking of, see, there's some bubbles there, but I'm sure you see that on the regular video. The only thing that I am thinking of is that when I push the brakes with the hub off, I wonder if I change the star adjuster there, the wheel adjuster. I hope not. I think maybe that only happens in reverse, but I'm not sure. Okay, we're trying this one last time since we're set up. Okay, that was 4 or 5 times. Okay, I tightened up the bleeder valve here, and I want to see, I'm going to press on the pedal and just do this video to make sure it's not leaking or anything. Well, looks dry. I don't know, what'd you see? We'll do the same with the other connection we made. Well, that looks dry too, but let's try a couple of pumps on that. That's what the fluid looks like. You can kind of see a layer on top there that doesn't look as nice as the clear stuff below. The old fluid.